Hey everyone, welcome back to SFDC Ninja, and I'm really excited to start this new series in which we are going to work on different real-time LWC scenarios. Whether you are new to LWC or an experienced developer wanting to improve your skills, then this series is for you. So without wasting any more time, let's begin. First, let's understand the problem statement. So our client ABC Corp wants to simplify the process of creating contacts. Basically, while creating contact, they want user to select a lead source first, and based on that lead source, they only want to show accounts that are relevant to that source. But not just any accounts. They had few conditions also, which are: first, the account must have come from the same lead source. Second, the account should be active. And third, the account must already have at least two opportunities linked to it. Only such accounts should be shown in the account selection dropdown. This way, the user does not see all accounts in the system but just the filtered ones based on business logic. So, overall, our client wants a clear dynamic contact creation form where the user first selects the lead source, then they get a dropdown of only matching accounts, and once the user fills the form and clicks the submit button, the contact will get created and linked with the selected account. So this is the requirement. I hope it is clear to you. Now let's understand the data model, like which objects and fields we are going to use in this requirement. It is obvious that we are going to use account and contact object. From account object, we are going to use account source field. It is a standard field that indicates the source of the account. Also, there is another field is active, which is a custom field of type checkbox, and it indicates that whether the account is active or not. From contact object, we will use first name, last name, and lead source. Lead source is a picklist field that captures the origin of the lead. Guys, both the account source and lead source fields share same set of values, and based on this selected lead source value, we will filter and display the account records along with other conditions also. This is the data model. Now let's discuss the approach that we are going to use for this requirement. So what we will do, we will create a form using LWC. In that form, user will enter first name, last name for the contact, then they will select lead source. Based on that selection, we will fetch a list of matching accounts using Apex, and those accounts should match the selected lead source, should be active, and should have more than two opportunities. If any account are found, then the user can choose from that filtered list using Lightning Record Picker. Once submitted, the contact will get created linked with that selected account. So I think that is enough of theory part, and the approach is also clear to you. It's time to code. So let's go to VS Code and create our component. Let's name it create contact form. Now guys, first we will work on HTML file, or you can say the UI part. See, we need to create a form for contact creation. So for that, we will use Lightning Record Edit form. Why? Because Lightning Record Edit form automatically handles the layout and validation based on Salesforce metadata. Basically, you don't need to write extra code to fetch picklist values, or you can say to manage required fields, or call Apex to create the record. So let's use Lightning Record Edit form. Record edit form. In this tag, first we need to specify the object for which we want to use this form, like this. Object API name will be contact. Basically, it tells Salesforce that this form will be used to create or update contact records. After that, we need to specify the fields which we want to show on UI. So for that, we will use Lightning input field tag for each field that we want to display, like this. Lightning input field, first for first name, second for last name, Guys, these fields will automatically link to the corresponding fields on contact object. For example, this line automatically knows that first name refers to the first name field on contact object. Now guys, there is one important thing, that the contact which will be created using this form, and if an account record is selected, then that contact must be associated with that account. So let's use account ID field also. Account ID. But the problem is that the account ID field should not be visible to the user. So for that, what we will do, we will put this account ID field inside SLDS hide like this. So guys, this SLDS hide is a SLDS class that hides the content within this div tag. So this class is used to visually hide the elements on the page but keep them in the DOM. In simple words, it ensures that the account ID field is not visible to the user but still exists in the form and can be used or submitted. Let's put a comment also. This field will be hidden from the user on UI. Now next task is to show account records using Lightning Record Picker, but it should be visible only after the user selects a lead source and the system finds matching data. But for this thing, we first need to have selected lead source value. Why? Because we want to show only relevant options based on lead source. I mean, we only want to show only specific accounts that are connected to the selected lead source. So what we will do? We will first use lead source field. Field name, lead source, and in this field we will use onChange event like this. Handle lead source change. Guys, see, this thing means that whenever user selects a lead source, then this JS function will be called. So let's copy its name and create a JavaScript function inside this file like this. Now in this function, we will first capture the value selected in the lead source like this. Let's verify the value using console.log like this. Selected lead source event.detail.value. Save it and deploy it to work. Let's go to our org, open the developer console. Now to initially test this component, we will create a Lightning application. Let's name it test app. And here we will put our component. Save it, click on preview, go to inspect, and here let's select any value in lead source field. So here, as you can see, that we are getting the required value. Now we will create a variable like this, and here we will store the selected lead source value in this variable. Event.detail.value, and it is not a good practice to have console.log inside code, so let's remove it. Now guys, we have the value using which we will apply filter on account records. So our next task is to fetch the account records based on selected value in lead source. For that, let's create our Apex class. Let's name it contact creation controller. Let's create our method. Get filtered account IDs. In this method, we will pass a parameter for lead source, and in this parameter, we will pass value from our JS code, and it will be used to filter account records. Now guys, if you remember the requirement, then you already know that we want to fetch accounts which should have at least 3 opportunities. So what we will do, we will find the opportunity records that are linked to account with this lead source and also which are active. And then we will group those opportunity by their associated accounts and checks if each account has more than 2 opportunities. And finally, we will return those account IDs. And for all these things, we will use aggregate query like this. Aggregate result. The reason of using aggregate query is to perform grouping and filtering of data directly rather than doing extra operations. Account AGG, select account ID from opportunity where account dot account source equals to this and account dot is active is true, group by account ID having count. This line means group all the opportunity records by their account ID. In simple words, many opportunity can belong to the same account, and this line tells to collect all opportunities that belong to the same account and put them together in a group. Once grouped, then you do calculations on each group like counting how many opportunities each account has, like this. This is to filter only the accounts with more than 2 opportunities. Now guys, here the thing is that eventually we want to collect account IDs to apply filter on Lightning Record Picker, right? So what we will do, we will create a list of IDs like this. Filtered IDs. Let's iterate over this list. And simply add account IDs like this. Guys, here this line means that get the value of account ID from one row of the query result. So here this AR is one result, or you can say one row from the list of grouped query result, and this get account ID is used to pick the account ID value from that row. Now simply return this list, change the return type in method also, list of ID. Now here the question arises that why we are returning only IDs. So the reason is that we'll be using Lightning Record Picker to show account records, and using these IDs we will apply filter, like it will show only accounts matching these IDs. Now we cannot use this method in our LWC because as of now it is not available to be used in it, and in order to make it available we will simply use Aura enabled annotation like this. So we have our controller class ready. Save it and deploy it to org. It is successfully deployed. Now let's navigate to LWC code, and here we will call our Apex class method. But first we need to import it. like this. Copy our method name, paste it here. Apex, copy our controller class name, paste it here, and then the method name. Now what we will do, we will create a separate JavaScript function to call our Apex method, like this. Fetch filtered accounts, and we will call our Apex method inside it. Copy the parameter name, paste it here, and in this we will pass this variable. Result will be list of account IDs, so we will create another variable, account ID list, and we will put the result in this variable. Here we are using array, so we have to use track decorator for it. Let's handle the error also. Simply we can use console.error. Guys, here instead of using console.error, you can also put the error inside a variable which you can use according to the requirement. Like you can show error message in pop-up, or you can show error message by other way. As of now, we will use console.error only. Copy this function name, and here we will call it inside this function. So guys, here what will happen, when user will select any value in lead source field, then this function will be called, in which selected value will be captured here, and after that this function will be called, in which we are calling our Apex class method, and we will have the account records filtered based on the selected lead source. Now, like I told you, that lightning record picker should be visible only if user selects any lead source and system finds the matching data, right? And here, as you can see, that we are storing matching records data in this list. So what we will do, we will use LWC if else to conditionally show or hide the lightning record picker, like this. Template LWC if copy this variable name, paste it here. If this condition will get true, then we will show lightning record picker, like this. Let's put the label, select account, let's put the placeholder also. Search account, object API name will be account. Now guys, to control what record should be shown in this lightning record picker, there is an attribute called filter. In simple words, the filter attribute helps you to show only specific records from the object based on the conditions you decide. And in our case, we need to show only specific accounts related to the selected lead source which we already have in this list. So let's use filter like this. And for this filter, we will use getter property like this. Copy it, paste it here. See, the reason of using getter property is reactivity. I mean, whenever account ID list changes, the getter recalculates automatically and updates the filter. Now guys, here we will create a filter object for the record picker. but only if there are account IDs available in this list. So here we will apply a check like this dot account ID list dot length greater than 0. Here we are using ternary operator. If this list has value, then this getter function will return an object which will define the filter conditions. Otherwise, it will return null. Now here we will apply our filter conditions like this. Criteria. See, we want to filter records using the ID field. So in field path, we will put the ID. This is the field name. Operator will be in, and in value we will put this list. So this filter tells to only show accounts whose ID is in this list. If the list is empty, then it will return null. So if the list is empty, then it will return null. Means the record picker will not show anything. Now our next task is to handle error. Let's save it. Save this files also. Deploy to org. And let's see what we are getting. Refresh this page. Okay, we are getting error. Here it says invalid filter configuration, invalid operator in. Okay, got it. So here we need to write in operator like this. Save it and deploy to org. Refresh this page. So here we are getting the expected result, which means till now our code is working fine. Now our next task is to capture the value selected in this lightning record picker. So for that, what we will do? We will use onChange event here, and here we will call this function. We will have to put value also, selected account ID. Copy this, paste it here, and inside this function we will capture the record selected in the lightning record picker. So for that, let's create a variable selected account ID. Copy this variable name, paste it here, event dot detail dot record ID. So like this we will have the record ID selected in the lightning record picker. Now our next task is to handle error, success and submit part of the lightning record edit form. Like we can control what will happen if there is some error, and we can also control the behavior of save button. So guys, in lightning record edit form we have events for all the operations. Like for error we have error event like this. If an error will occur, then this function will be called, handle error. Similarly for success and submit, handle submit, and if the operation will be successful, then we will call handle success function. Copy this, paste it here. This is for error. This is for success. And this is for submission. So guys, this function will be called when the form will get submitted. Now guys, see, by default when user click on save button, let me check whether we have created the save button or not. Okay, we have not created the save button yet, so let's create it. Label will be create contact, variant will be brand, and type will be submit. So guys, by default when user click on this save button to submit the form, Salesforce will automatically gather the field values and save the record. But in our case, we don't want that. Why? Because we are using a custom way to set the account ID. I mean, using a lightning record picker, which is not a part of form. So if we let the LWC handle it by default, then it will not know about the selected account ID. So to set the account ID, we need to stop the default behavior of the form to take control of what data gets submitted. For that, we will use event.prevent default like this. Event.prevent default. Now since we stopped the default form behavior, Salesforce will not collect the input values automatically. So we have to go and grab each field values. And since we are stopping the default form submission, so now we must access the form and then we need to read the input fields inside it. But for this, we need a reference to the form, which we will get like this. Or you can say record form. Selector lightning record edit form. Now record edit form will not automatically collect the field values, so we need a place to store all the fields and their values. So let's create a variable like this. Now what we'll do, we will manually collect the user's input from each field like this. Selector all lightning input field. Guys, this line will find all the input fields present on the form and store them in this list so that we can go through them one by one. Let's iterate over it like this. For each here we are going through each input field dot field name. So here we are going through each input field in the form and then we are saving the field's name and its value into this fields object. Let's do it for account ID also. In account ID, we need to put the value selected in the lightning record picker. So copy this, paste it here. Guys, like I already told you that we are doing all this because we are going to submit the form manually. So we need to collect each field's value, which we already did here, and finally we will submit the form like this. Save it and deploy it to work. It is successfully deployed. Refresh this. Okay, this lightning record picker is not looking good. So let's work on the UI part. Let's enclose this inside this div tag. Save it and deploy to org. Refresh this page. Yes, now it is looking good. Now guys, we can test it either here or we can put this component on account detail page and then test it there. So what we'll do, let's go to XML file and here we will make this component available for lightning record page like this. Lightning app page. Record page. Save it and deploy to org. It is successfully deployed. Now what we'll do, we will go to any account. Click on edit page. Here we have our component. Let's put it here. And click on save. So here we have our form, and what we can do, we can also enclose this inside lightning card like this. Title will be create new contact. Save it and deploy it again. Now refresh this page. Yes, now it is looking good. But wait, here in our code, we are not doing anything for error or success event. So here, what we'll do, we will simply use console.log like this. Error while creating contact. And for success event, we can do the same. Guys, inside these functions, you can also show error message or success message in pop-up, or you can also do some other operations. But here as of now, we are simply using console.log to handle error or success message. Save it and deploy to org. Refresh this page. Let's put the first name, component, and here let's select any lead source. Now here if we search for account, then we have an account for this lead source and which is also active and which also have more than 2 opportunities on it. Let's test for this lead source. We don't have any account related to this lead source. That's why the lightning record picker is not getting visible. Here what we will do, we will select this one and click on create contact. And go to inspect. And here as you can see that contact is getting created successfully. Refresh this page. And here we got the contact. Now to make UI more better, let's show the success message in a toast like this. Dispatch event. Toast event. Title will be success. Message will be contact created successfully. And its variant will be success. We need to import it also. Save it and deploy it to work. Refresh this page. Now this time we will test for phone inquiry. We have the account, click on create contact. Okay, now we are getting error. Okay, we have to write it in capital. Refresh this page again. Test phone inquiry. Select any lead source. Select any account and click on create contact. Now we are getting success message. We need to go to phone inquiry account. So guys, our code is working fine. So that's it for today guys, and I'll be back with more interesting LWC scenarios. Thank you and keep watching. So, are you looking to make your Salesforce experience even better? Meet Titan. With Titan, you can easily build portals, design forms, and generate documents all without a single line of code. So boost your Salesforce experience with Titan. Book your demo now. Link is in the description.